Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 video. I don't know, I feel like I just have some renewed energy coming back from my vacation, and I'm just in the mood to record more videos. And this one's just going to be a talking video, a discussion video, but still, it's going to be one of those that is kind of like a theory-based one, and I don't know, just like a lot of different thoughts are going to be, thrown into this video. So, hope you guys are ready for it. I just chose the what is it, the Outlaw Refuge House. One, because I have good music here. Two, it's just such a peaceful house. I don't know why this house is so peaceful, but it just is. I like this house because of the grounds, not the tree house. The tree house is, it's not that good. But the rest of it is really cool. So I'm just going to be hanging out here. Mostly just a listening video for people. So sit back. Here we go. We're going to be talking about the producer's letter that was released this month. And every single year, KingsIsle puts out a producer's letter in December for just a wrap-up of the year, just to go over things that have happened and then kind of give little hints at what we will see in the next year. In 2017, we had two producer's letter. One was August, and then the one this month. So I think usually we get like around two producer's letter each year. So two producer's letters, and this one was pretty interesting. We got some confirmations of things that a lot of people have been, talking about and theorizing over in the last, 2 months or so since Empyrea Part 1 came out. The main thing that was mentioned in the producer's letter for December was that Empyrea is divided into 2 parts, so 2 parts for sure, and it is the last world of this arc, of Arc 3. I always get confused. I mean, I don't get confused, I just say it wrong. Like, I know it in my head, but I just say it wrong. I always say how the arcs are, divided up. I always say it wrong somehow. So I'm going to try to do it correct here. There's 3 arcs in this game, okay? Malastare arc, Morganth arc, Old Cobb arc, okay? That's the 3. And the worlds are divided. I'm just going to, go through this. I always mess this up, so I'm going to try to get rid of this one. Wizard City through Dragonspire is Malastare, because you defeat Malastare, well, the first time in Dragonspire. After that, it's just each 5 worlds is a new arc, except the side worlds. So 5 for this one. This one's gonna be Celestia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Morganth, because we defeat Morganth in Chrysalis at the end there, Shadow Palace, all that. So that's arc 2, and then third arc is Polaris. 1, 2, 3 ends with Empyrea. So that's only 3 worlds. This is what got a lot of people thinking, wow, is Empyrea really going to be the last world of this arc? Because that is only 3 worlds in this arc. We haven't seen a side world in a while, but the main worlds in this storyline, it's gone 5 worlds arc 1, 5 worlds arc 2, and now 3 worlds in arc 3. So I don't know, maybe it's just because that's how the story ends up going. I mean, we had the 3 children of Spider, and we met the 3rd one in Empyrea. We're gonna, finish that storyline with the 3rd child of Spider in Empyrea Part 2. Then, what would happen after that? There was, prophesied way back in, Zafaria, when we went back there, in, what was that? Was that Polaris, or yeah, I think it was Polaris. We went back there and saw the paintings, the cave paintings and all that in Zafaria. And way back then we knew that there was 3 children of Spider, and we've met all 3 of them. The rat, scorpion, and now the bat. And we had a little bit of a twist with the bat. I'm not going to go too much into the story in this, but yeah, the bat with the the main him actually helping us and all of that. I think I'll do a storyline video once I finish up the Life and Death Road to 125. Then I'll go deep into the story. I kind of already have, but I want to go even further with that. I don't know if we're going to defeat the bat. That's something that we will decide, will be decided in part 2 of Empyrea, because as of right now, the bat wants to help us against Medulla, and that's the end of part 1. And then who's the boss after that? Well, we have some idea of who it could be from the cutscene at the end of part 1. I'm not going to go into that. I'll go into that in a separate video. But yeah, super exciting. That's where the storyline's at, and I don't really think they could have drawn this arc out for 2 more worlds. That just seems like a lot, and I'm glad that they're like, okay, you know, 5 worlds is a lot. 5 worlds of Malastare in the beginning was fine because those worlds are short. Polaris is pretty short though. Mirage, fairly long world. Empyrea, I feel like is going to be longer than Mirage, and I don't know if it was going to be the longest world in the game because I feel like Chrysalis takes the top spot for the longest world in the entire game, but it's going to be a pretty long world with both parts combined, and yeah, it should be exciting. I feel like the finale of this arc is going to be like insane because, you know, in the beginning the Malastare arc was iconic just because he was the first villain, but it wasn't anything like huge. You know, we just defeated Malastare at the Great Spire, and then, you know, that was it. Morganthe was pretty good. You know, Morganthe, she turned into like the huge spider, her big spider shadowy form, and we defeated her there with like her what do you call those, mirror images of herself. That was pretty cool. This one, we'll see what the finale is. We'll see what the finale of Arc 3 is going to be. And I don't know, I have an idea for who the boss could be, but I know a lot of people that have finished Empyrea Part 1 will know as well who the boss could be. So I'll be talking about that once I finish up Road to 125. But that's where we're at with all the arcs. I think I got it all right this time, but just some interesting things to think about, that Empyrea is the end of Arc 3. What's after that? Are we going to have Arc 4? Are they going to take a little break and maybe give us some side worlds? Because we haven't had any really, you know, substantial side worlds in a long time. Let's look at the side worlds of the game over here. So, side worlds, we had, there's no side worlds in the first arc. It was just, you know, first 5 worlds. And then we had Grizzleheim. Grizzleheim, I feel like, let me just quickly look through the side worlds. I mean, there's only a couple. Aqua's not on here. But I feel like Grizzleheim was the best side world that they put into the game, because it was basically 2 parts, right? Grizzleheim is divided into 2 parts, and it has the like the different areas that you can go to depending on your level. So you can keep going back to Grizzleheim as you level up. I don't know what the exact levels are, but I really like that about Grizzleheim because it kind of levels with you. And then you can go back, you can wait on it, and then go back to Grizzleheim when you're high enough level just to do all of it. That's what Tara and I are going to do in the Death and Life walkthrough. And then you also have Winter Tusk when you get high enough level for that. Winter Tusk gives insane XP. It gives you some of your spells. It gives you pets. So there's a lot of benefits with Grizzleheim. But yeah, Grizzleheim was an awesome side world. Probably my favorite one. And I like the music here. Just the, I don't know, just the feel of Grizzleheim is awesome. So Wisteria, pretty small side world. You know, you can get through that very quickly. So nothing crazy here. I like the story though. It had a nice story with the introduction of the side schools, like basically the mirror schools of or Ravenwood, I should say. So we had the other schools that were in Wisteria that were similar to Ravenwood, and you had a little bit of a storyline going on there. You know, another headmaster and all of that. So I like Wisteria, but you know, a little short. Grizzleheim definitely is my, you know, more favored world out of those 2. And then the other world, I guess the Arcanum is a side world, even though it is a part of all the other worlds. It's a part of Polaris. You get introduced to it. And then, of course, Mirage. And now Empyrea. So it kind of goes along with all of these in this arc. Is it a side world? Not really, because you don't get your own like storyline there. You have to do it in conjunction with the other worlds. But hey, I do like the introduction of the Arcanum. It's great. Maybe we will continue with the Arcanum, you know, a lot more in the future, and it will become like its own world. I don't know. How big is the Arcanum? We can't really tell. So we're introduced to a lot of, you know, different rooms in Empyrea with the Arcanum, but I feel like they can just continue to expand on that so much, and that will carry on into the next arc, into part 2 of Empyrea and the next arc. I feel like we're not going to leave the Arcanum behind anytime soon, because the Arcanum is basically Ravenwood 2.0. It's the next step. We've graduated Ravenwood in Polaris, right? And then you move on to the Arcanum and you learn your spells there. You really kind of leave behind your old professors, you know? It's like graduating. It really is graduating like high school, going to college. You know, that's kind of how I've seen the transition from graduating Ravenwood going to the Arcanum. But now we have more like specialized missions that we do for each scholar. So it's not like we're on a structured like learning path anymore, which I kind of like. I don't know, it makes it a neat dynamic for like how our studies are progressing, because we're level 125 almost at this point. Well, I am almost. And we're gonna be level 130 after Empyrea Part 2. So what's next after Arc 3? I really feel like we're either going to get a new edition of gear, the next big dungeon, or some type of side world, because I feel like we're due for a new side world. Them going straight into Arc 4, maybe they'll set it up, but I don't know if they're gonna go straight into it, because that's just crazy. This game's been out for almost 10 years now. In 2018 it'll be 10 years of this game, and we're gonna be heading into the close of Arc 3. So crazy stuff going on with that, but it is exciting. In the producer's letter, they also said one thing that people have been kind of looking closely at is the line, "Everything old will be new again." That was kind of the ambiguous term that they threw, or the phrase that they threw into the producer's letter. So what does that mean? Everything old will be new again. Well, old Cobb? Are we gonna cleanse old Cobb and return him to his former self? Or everything old will be new again? Some people thought it was like, oh, they're going to kind of clean up some of the texturing, and maybe give Wizard City like an overhaul. I don't know if that's what they mean by it. Maybe it's just, I mean, I feel like it has some type of meaning, right? Who knows what their plans are for 2018. I'm excited to be along for the ride, though, because I really just enjoy seeing the directions that KingsIsle is continuing to take this game, because it's become so much more than I think anyone could have thought it would be. Starting out with the max level of 40 and then 50, and now going all the way up to 125, and soon next year 130. That's crazy. Never thought that we would be here. I've talked with old people that have since quit the game, and they can't believe that it's gone until level 120 plus, because they only played up till like level 50 when Malastare was the last boss. So lots changed, but I feel like it's a good thing. I think that's gonna do it for me talking about all this stuff. I think I covered everything I wanted to. So hope you guys enjoyed it, my ramblings on everything. 2018 is gonna be fun. I have no idea what to expect, but oh yeah, the other thing was, I'm not sure when we're actually going to be getting Part 2. With Part 2 of Chrysalis, we got it in the spring of the following year. I don't know if Empyrea Part 2 is going to be the same thing. We might not get it until next fall. Like, we might not get it for a year after Part 1 was released, which is a long time. And that means we only got really one world in 2 years, which isn't the best. So do I hope it comes out in spring of next year? Yeah, I really do. But I don't know. Who knows how long it will take? Does KingsIsle even know how long it's going to take yet? But I'm sure they're hard at work on that. So that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. Leave a like if you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments on what you think is going to be the future for the game, the storyline, and everything for next year. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.